Alright, hold up. Starting up. Alright, hold up. Starting up. Oh, Mr. Pinfall. Just learning some new Windows 11 features today. Oh, Mr. Pinfall. Hold on. Just learning some new Windows 11 features today. Double sound was on the X. Okay. Wheel. Then it's time to put up the usual links. That thing. Okay. All right, dialogues. Oh. There you go. Should have frame rate back on. Good. Fine. What kind of color would be good? Usually it's been something like that. The robot section should be fairly simple. There's no choices there. So let's start on that first. Too many components. Way too many. Robot dialogue. Title? Human creature. Oh, I didn't set the fine, I don't want to say dialogue, but just say day 2. Dialogue UI. Hey Taras, what's up? Здоровенькі були. I guess I'll just flesh out player next. Well, gonna be more involved, it's gonna be options. Player options. Not sure where I want buttons to be yet. I'll figure that in the future. For now, what I need is vertical alignment. What do I use if not that? Currently looking for. I mean, okay. All right, I need something to tag. Give an index to that. Why vertical alignment? Identifies the order for how's this for code gen? Trust me, Zep, if you're still here, are you still streaming on Twitch, or so you're working on a game of some kind? Yeah. I'd imagine life has to be difficult, huh? Unfortunately. Hopefully one day. One day. Indeed. Let's see. Stream month was not a schedule, huh? Fair enough. Okay, sure it gets saved correctly. Good. Time to build that out a bit. Actually good enough to test things out. It helped too when you're between jobs. Makes sense. Well, it's a good. That sounds like you got a job. Excellent. Indeed, indeed. Indeed. Hold on 1 second. Back in. All right, I want to get this. Oh, is it just... Okay. One. All right, now to the code to get this working. Mhm. Actually, I just need this. What to call index. Item line heights. Oh, this was collecting the heights for that. Maybe I should want a new system to do this. It's fine for now. Wait. Oh no, I need to compile a different thing here. Well, actually, this is good. 1.
In the dark, on a road with all familiar feelings, I know I hear a song, but it ain't so clear. No. And when it rains, it falls hard, and there's a weight I've carried so far. But will we fly or will I fall here? You are the answer, you are that real love. I throw my hands up, I throw my hands up.
Alright, how did I line it all together?
Give it all to you, God. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. I give it all to you, God. I give it all to you. I give it all to you.
Equal spacing. And tail spacing. There. There.
Give it all to you. Every hope, every plan, every dream that I've ever had, every prize and treasure I found. Yeah. Every light, every smile, every tear of joy that I've cried. Without you it means nothing at all. Yeah. Give it all to you. Give it all to you, God. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. I give it all to you, God. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. You are the answer. You are that real love. I roll my hands up. You are the answer. You are that real love. I roll my hands up.
You don't like about Apple Silicon? It's like supported more than 2 external monitors, huh? Dock and all that. No idea. I think I've had up to 3 monitors on my Windows machines. But Mac is always a pain. Unless you use it for specific limited functions, then it's great. I do like hardware about Mac, like actually like keyboard and mouse touches, all that. That all feels smooth. Okay, for each one. The top should be what? Logitech MX. I've been using one of the Razer mices, Dev Fatter right now, but it doesn't matter too much anymore. Let's see. So the total height is 1. I think I would have to do 0 to 1 is total. This is the whole range, which means You have to subtract star at top as well as tiny tail spacing. Top spacing at the top. Element 0. Padding. Element 1. Tail spacing. Maybe time to go back to Windows, huh? I guess depends what stuff you're working on. For making games, for sure. For some jobs, Mac can be fine. Spacing. Yeah, between elements, good. Times count -1. How much elements is remaining? Plus this. Usual thing. Do you have a master to-do list for the game? No, really. I do have to keep some items in there, but no, really. It's more I sometimes keep like specific plans for actual features, but like big to-do lists, it doesn't particularly matter because I can tell ahead of time like what will be fun to actually implement. So it's more about discovery. You implement the next logical thing that makes most sense, and then you judge the game. You see what's fun. What's not fun gets thrown out. So running the plan too far ahead would just be a waste of time. Just be a waste of time. Okay. I was hoping this will be 1. Okay, so vertically this didn't change at all. But I was hoping it would. Top. I also need to change the width. Height. Okay, height changes, top changes. Why? A 0 and a 1. Top is not being changed at all somehow, huh? Huh. Oh, this is a plus, by the way. Oh, there you go. Finally get the right order. And now I should be able to do... Oh, no, it's not minus. It's... Yeah, okay. One thing I started to do recently, master to-do list, feed into AI and expertise, which one for me, I guess. The thing is, I mean, you can't really do that with creative work a whole lot. But there's also an element of discovery that you can only see once you actually put it into the game. Okay, so... If you disagree with results, put one more info into the dark? No, really. Maybe for like super simple things, maybe, but when you have things like essentially a creative process like there were so many elements into it. Yeah, I mean, it's fine if you're fond of the AI process, but I found like when as I begin to implement the game, my initial thing, which is Diablo 2 and nothing else. I didn't need to come up with any ideas initially. But then when I started to play that, one of the things I discovered, I didn't like that when you had to like jump around. For example, when you're in a battle. Oh, this thing's to hide. One thing I didn't like was that in Diablo 2 you have to like use the mouse to click to move away from them, and then you attack, move away and attack. And I just found that so annoying, and just my hand just couldn't handle that. It's like almost gave me carpal tunnel after testing this 4 hours. It's like, you know what's screw this? No, I need like WSD input or something while doing other stuff. And that's when I decided. Also didn't like when before that, when you use an ability, immediately pause and your character locks in place until you let go. I didn't like that either. Just purely by feel of it and playing it, so. Top here, 2342. Thank you for raiding, my man. I was just working in UI, but let me blow up some robots to release some steam. C, not C++. Yeah, I like C. I use a lot of C libraries. Actually, fun thing about that, one time I used to use GLM math library, which is a C++ math library, right? And then I saw that in my debugger builds were just too slow for no reason, and then I started to profile that. And I saw it was the math computation of matrices for animation. So like, all right, I want to be able to run my game well enough in a debug build. So then I found the C version of GLM math library, which is called CGLM. So I replaced my entire math with CGLM just with a C library for math. Boom, debug build began to run like 3 times fast right off the bat. Like right now, my frame time is like 2 something milliseconds. It used to be like 6 of C++ math and debug build, so that was unacceptable. Unacceptable. I like the glasses. Charge up Fireball? Why not? Compile times, honestly, at this point, when I press compile in my Visual Studio, it actually also compiles the shaders, produces asset packs, actually copies everything into basically deployable, ready to deploy location. So nowadays, if I build from scratch, I think my shaders take longer to compile than C++ code. C++ itself maybe takes like 15 seconds on my beastie machine. Outside of that, it's not. But shaders nowadays, especially the latest one, they just take forever to compile. Plus now I'm having to assemble like 100 megabytes of assets. Just gonna pack them up and put them in a combined file. So, but right now I'm working on something more. Usually I'd be doing some of this. Hey. But right now we're taking a break. Not the break, but starting to work on the story component of it. Because I already have different items that you can have. What did I get? Sure. Ooh. I like that. Should have kept that. Anyway. Back to the UI work. This is the introductory scene for UI in the game. And begin to build out basic dialogue. This is mostly from scratch, yes. I have 2 renders, actually. Because that's my favorite part, I think. Like when you actually play in the game, what you see now, this is the fancy render. So you get your perfect reflections, you can actually see reflecting, even X-ray effect is ray tracing. But if you don't have ray tracing hardware, you can switch off into ugly. Oh god, that was a bug. Ignore the bug. Just ignore it. I don't know what that's from. That's a new bug I haven't seen before. Anyway, this is working properly. This will be a non-ray tracing render, which is a bit faster. Whatever. Whatever. So yeah. It says on top of C API of Vulkan. Compiling shaders, I mean, you're always compiling shaders no matter what, regardless of what you do. So initially I used to use GLSL shaders. In that case, you'd be compiling using GLSL binary. And then I switched into Slang shader language at one point. Just because it has a nicer IntelliSense to work with in the visual code. Unfortunately, that compiles slower. But all that has to go into SPIR-V, and then SPIR-V compiles it at runtime. But so far I don't have many shaders, so I don't have much of a drawback. So right now my game can still launch in 3 seconds in debug build. And one nice thing is that this is actually a debug build, but running at 4K resolution, but I'm still getting like probably 200 frames so far. Right, yeah. Yep. I've been at it for probably a year and a half now, full time. One of the systems you can actually have equipable items of all kinds. Yes. Including hairstyles, the equipable item. And robots actually take damage. I've begun to work on the hometown too. So one of the things you can do is call up a bike. Yo. Oh, it's Tilda now, forgot. Oh, run out of energy, hold up, gotta recharge. Charge up. Charge down. Excellent, excellent. Let's say the mission is done, you can just hop on a bike. And off you go. That's not supposed to be destroyed as quite as much, but whatever. That's a future home base. We can just chill. Fin missions. Alright, let's not burn GPU 300 frames for now. Limit it a bit. And back to the beginning of the story. We need to build some Dialog UI. And this is very much almost from scratch. Because my UI is built on entity component systems. I usually stream just about every day in this, but lately it's been on and off. Nowadays I usually stream for a little bit at the end of the day. But maybe in a week or so I'll just go back to my usual several hours of streaming every day. I do have a 3-month-old build on Steam. I'll do it at some point. These are all the older robots. I got the new robot types now, look a little bit better. This is actually a main menu, where just computer plays by itself. Is it still functional? Main menu. Yeah. Still kind of functional. Yeah, what's up, Mr. Sus? Things are going well, man. Things are going well, getting back into it. This is where you actually choose the hero. There's also a male guy, but I haven't worked on this guy probably in half a year at this point. He's really buggy. He just bugs out, so you can ignore that guy. I figure this is a nice way to show which you're gonna play when you switch characters. You can just see it in action right away. Did anyone speak Chinese? Back to English. Anyway, back to today's work. I don't think I care about this much anymore. Alright. Player section. Player options. Choose 1, choose 0. I want these to be buttons though. Add button. Vertical element. It's gonna be 0, it's fine. Option 0. Option 0. Okay. Duplicate. I could create this programmatically, and I might. But this is good enough to get started. Okay. So let's add tail spacing at the bottom from the top and in between. Now Fallout and the like, sometimes they combine us at the top. Usually it's combined technically. Maybe I do want a title here to indicate those your options. For example, this might be sure, you know what? Give a title. It seems to make sense. Thanks for the follows, Livy Dev. And Dimitri. I don't think I need anything else. An exit conversation will be somewhere here anyway. What about this? Actually, that looks good. I need to build out some kind of dialogue system as well. Gonna be a bunch more JSON work. I need something like... Here's the data I want. Well, conversations JSON. I don't know, something. Intro. You can always assume you're talking, so I don't need to say self. Just need to say with whom other.
You breeze in the morning. Every step is so golden. Oh yeah. Breathing slowly. I never thought
You put something simple at first.
I promise I will give you the love that you want. Can you tell me the truth? 'Cause I'm longing for you, girl. I need to know what's on your mind. There's no reason to choose, 'cause I'm falling for you, girl. Only gets better when you're pouring down on me. Oh, ooh, whoa. I always dream about you. Don't worry about the where to, now or never. We can start again. Just wanted you to be mine. Why don't you turn around and tell me now? Oh yeah. I promise I can give you the love that you want. Can you tell me the truth? 'Cause I'm
Actually, it's fine.
you to know when I look in your eyes. All I need is only you, can you stay by my side? Into the seasons, I'll give you the love that you want. Can you tell me the truth? 'Cause I'm longing for you, girl. I need to know what's on your mind. There's no reason to choose, 'cause I'm falling for you, girl. Only gets better when you're pouring down on me. Can you tell me the truth? 'Cause I'm longing for you, girl. I need to know what's on your mind. There's no reason to choose, 'cause I'm falling for you, girl. Only gets better when you're pouring down on me. Oh, yeah, yeah.
I need to tag it somehow. Like, one might be like end conversation. Hmm.
I've come to the end of myself. My hands in the air, Jesus, I've got nothing.
Something.
And I wanna keep singing, but I'm feeling the weight. I'm seeing the cycles of all the hate. Open up those heavenly gates. We cry, justice, freedom come. Open up those heavenly gates. We cry for mercy and for your love. You see the forgotten, you stand in their pain. You're shoulder to shoulder with all who finding their way in every season.
Eventually all dialogues will end, so that's one tag. That makes sense.
God, won't you come and open up those heavenly gates? Those heavenly gates.
And conversation special tag. I could say like go to prompt 1.
Take my hand and follow me. Don't be scared, I know these streets. Don't you feel so alive?
Yeah, I know.
Here in my arms, safe and sound. So take my hand, take all of me. Maybe I'm delirious, but I can't get enough of your touch. Delirious, hope that it's not too much. I just feel so alive. I could just die here in your arms, safe and sound. Maybe I'm delirious, but I can't get enough of your touch.
That is a good question how to build this out. I mean, just for now, there's not a whole lot to do. For now, the only reaction will be what the robots will say, otherwise, it doesn't matter.
If I could, I'd stop the time. Now let this moment pass me by. Maybe I'm delirious, but I can't get enough of your touch. Delirious, hope that it's not too much. I just feel so alive. I could just die here in your arms, safe.
Might as well name it, I suppose. Intro.
Of your touch.
Maybe I want to do something else. Go to... And this could just be... Can I do that? No, it has to be something. Okay. I feel like that should be good enough. Allow me to describe the dialogue options, who I'm speaking with, where to start options, good, prompt for the other guy. Well, to test things out at first, it might be good enough for now. Just go back to here. Although the thing is, actually, when you say something, reflect here. You can go. You can't really return. No, I'll think about that. Doesn't matter for now. Alright, little side step to implement reading that JSON file.
It's like I'm
Wait, that file could. Do you want a separate system for that? Probably do. Fine, I'll make something new.
Come over here, I got something to show you. I am willing to try if you're feeling the same. 'Cause I'd love to see ya, but I might just leave ya. Don't take too much, I don't wait, won't wait for ya. I don't care if they say that I'm a bad girl. 'Cause I gotta do, yeah, what I feel like. Well, I don't care if you think that I'm a bad girl. 'Cause what I do to feel my desires. I'm feeling like no, but I'm thinking like go. I know what I want, I see what I want, I just gotta do. I'm feeling like no, but I'm thinking like go. You know what you want, you see what you want, what you gonna do. Light fades out. You just follow my lead, you can't resist. Bite my lips. 오늘 밤 우리 끝난다 해도 지금은 멈추지 마요. I don't care if they say that I'm a bad girl. 'Cause I gotta do, I gotta do, yeah, what I feel like. Well, I don't care if you think that I'm a bad girl. 'Cause what I do to feel my desire. Feeling like no, you know what I'm thinking like go. I know what I want, I see what I want, I just gotta do. Feeling like no, but I'm thinking like go. You know what you want, you see what you want, what you gonna do.
Alright, who loads the stuff? I'll definitely do it here, which is fine. Where do I do this? Wait a second. There was an example somewhere where I was reading using a file stream. I don't remember. Well, streams, yes. Found you. Found you. But I don't want to do any of that stuff.
Delisa, oh, go. Delisa, oh, go. Olana, wanna. Infinity to the under. Olana, wagba. This life now we dey ponder. Ogbeni no dey form holy. I ask you question
The
no dey share
buffer.
because it no be man go take glory. Take glory, Olua. Take critical hater. Turn me to the better. Jamie stick the greater. Complete in the maker.
Does this take? It does.
Delisa, oh, go. Delisa, oh, go. But it's like we living in a race, we dey run, oh, no. Enemy day, we dey burn, no. We try to stay in the one way they give us, like the one way they find us, Take glory, Olua. Check critical hater. Turn me to the better. Jamie stick the greater. Complete in the maker. Only one, na.
Okay. It wants the buffer. Fair. I guess for that I will allocate some memory. Fine. Actually, does it say what I need? It doesn't need to be all that big, to be honest. Does that work? Think it might. Think it might.
Wish I could take it back to get a new start. I apologize at least 100 times. You never heard my perspective or took my advice. But I put all the problems in a pot, then I stirred. I said what I did was a blur. And it's just a bad habit, maybe it's just a curse.
I guess that might actually fit, huh? Right.
I tried to fix what was broken, but you made up your mind. I gave you all my reasons, then you pushed them aside. Guess it wasn't enough. When it rains, it floods. Left me drowning here neck deep, dragged me through the mud. You act like I stabbed a knife in you. I cut so deep, I went all the way through. If you guess like me, then I'm a fool. No more drama now, no more shots to shoot. I'll throw fuel on the fire, burn the bridge to the ground.
Let's make it loud. 오늘 밤에 미치더라가. Rhythm 위에 춤춰. 걷지 말고 follow. Let me hear you say.
What's up, UI? Am I big into action RPGs? Hell yes, of course. Mostly 2D, well, top down. Kinda like Diablo style. I mean, Fade on Edge and Siege, Fall Helsing, aren't those usually like third person over the shoulder thing? To me, what I mean is more like Diablo-like or like Path of Exile-like. I've played some over the shoulder ones, but not as much. Those usually work slightly different. Primarily because if you have like a lot of range attack, it's kind of difficult to do it from like first person or shoulder thing. The game I'm building is more like a Diablo. Okay. So how did it take me? Okay, give me this. Other start. Now this. Yes, some isometric ones for sure. Played with all of that, especially Diablo 2 modded one. And so mine is starting out pretty similar to that. This is my 3-month-old Steam playtest. Still going, but I haven't updated in a while. Textureless build. There's a male hero, but I haven't worked on that guy in a while. This is actually the main menu. You're just kind of chilling. Let me see. Am I at least compiling still? Today I'm building the Dialog systems. Okay, to handle all this stuff. But maybe it's time to score some faces. I really should hide this. At some point I'll do it. Yeah, destruction, that's right. Especially on robots. Have this guy just pop off chunks. Where'd you go? Where'd your arm go, dude? Where's your arm at? Where's your arm at? Oh, it's right here? That's what I was thinking. Right now I'm using gamepad. Something I need to fix so I can move the gamepad with the attack of the mouse. That should take like 2 minutes to fix, but I'm too lazy. Alright, turret's time. If I get enough energy, yes. Let's go charge up. Charging. Good, good. Eat that turret. Okay. Oh, we did get some items. Oh. No, this is fine. Oh, the mouse. Sure. There's no items. No properties on these items. They're too basic and simple. Moving on. I think he's mono hungry, huh? Is the font rendering done using SDFs? No. I'm just using a simple free type approach. The only thing I did was make sure that the fonts I'm rendering are pixel perfect of resolution I'm using. So that anytime I change resolution, I actually recompile or reproduce the font texture specifically. I don't think I can show this anymore, do I? Not really. But building fonts does take some time. Is it good on different scales? Yeah, so I'll literally actually ask free type font system to be like, yo, I need font to be this exact pixels for this particular resolution you're using. So every time you resize window at runtime on startup, I produce the textures at runtime. So where resolution is at, it's going to produce exactly that. And then it will use those fonts exactly that precision. So it doesn't do any kind of weird scaling. So because of that, fonts look a lot better. Which took me actually a lot of time to fix that in the past. In the past, they would kind of scale oddly. It was kind of ugly. Yeah, free type is a library. I mean, it's doing all the work is kind of hard to say because it's... The only thing it does for me really is it generates the image, but it doesn't actually, well, just the pixel values. But then you have to stitch that together yourself. So in my case, I have a Vulkan render, so I have to combine all that myself in the right amount of space, set a whole bunch of stuff. Like, there's a lot involved. This is an example. Load fonts. Now, in most cases, I have to we even cared about which Chinese characters I might need. And then FT free type is a little library. Like this one, it kind of reads it up. Then there's different parameters you might set there. Things like what was it? Like different axis values for the font. Because when you load a Google font, you can actually choose which particular axes you want, how wide it is on the character. Once you have that, you can have to figure out what kind of font size in pixels that I want. And then you have to pass it a free type. And then you get one character at a time as necessary. And then you actually get the glyph data of the actual picture. And that actually writes out into big image. I think I might even still have it somewhere. Do I still have it, Mr. Font Viewer? No. What if I give it like this? Yeah. So behind here you can actually see the font. This is what I use for English, for example. So you can have to carefully render this out, put it in the texture, and then you have to cut out the right pieces to generate everything that you see. So hiding I am GUI, this is my actual. And then you can see this each character actually has be a reference to this into the big texture. That was a bunch of work to get that right. I think you have multiple fonts as well that you can pick from. Dude, it was a bunch of headache because it gives you like a lot of information about each letter. You have to learn things about kind of like kerning, like the advance of character, how high it goes, how low it goes. Dude, it was involved. It was involved. But first, these tasks. Let's continue parsing this. Conversation. Directions, right? Yeah. Gonna be triple loop, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh, I don't even fill this out yet. Okay, what do I need? I need this stuff. Did it create some render graph abstractions? No, I didn't bother. My approach in this game so far is to ignore all abstractions. I just don't care. If I'm really seeing something being repeated like 5-10 times, it's super obvious to put it together abstracted, then sure. But otherwise, I don't bother. Plus, render graphs have a cost, dude. Aside from your mental cost, implementation cost, there's also runtime cost as well, so you better be sure you need it. But so far, I haven't found the need. I keep my graphics fairly simple. Use dynamic rendering 1.3. Sure. Lots up plenty. Yeah, when I started initially doing things, I ended up writing the full Vulkan 1.0, so I think I kind of skipped dynamic rendering. At this point, I kind of get used to passes, the render passes anyway, so dynamic rendering, if anything, is a bit of a pain because some of that stuff doesn't fully support everything the render passes do. So once you create like 12 render passes that I have, it's not a big deal. Mr. LaPlante networking code base. Networking is, unless you got experience of networking, is very difficult to get right. Very difficult to get multiplayer working right without working with experts beforehand. Use boost. Oh, that's a rip, dude. That is a rip. Yeah, boost will kill your compile times pretty hard. That's why I don't use boost. I don't use STL either. That stuff is nasty and slow. Both runtime, compile time. Okay, so I got ID. I got other. Next. Zaka created your own compiler. Well, nowadays all that means is you're just a front end for LLVM anyway. Because unless you're a real man, you hand roll your own optimizer, assembly maker, and whatnot. But most of the languages, you're just passing stuff into LLVM and dealing with a nasty C++ interface with LLVM, so those new languages don't impress me much. No matter how fast they are, they're only as fast as LLVM is. Yeah, pretty much. So that's why I'm like, dude, like, why don't I just stick with like simplified C++ with a splash of C and move on with my life? Other people can worry about other cute little sugar syntax here and there. That's whatever. Plus, I just love my C++ tools. I just like way too much. Like, for example, including this live++, which is the hot reload, just patches everything I'm doing live most of the time. Alright, name text, go to. Right now it's only go to, it can also be action. So go to or action. Or action. I don't know, call it outcome. Mr. Georgi, multiplayer just right loop, update copying done. Unfortunately, speed of light is very slow. So you have to do a lot of tricks to make multiplayer be decent. A lot of tricks. I spent a lot of time in corporate world doing that right. So I know to do it, which is why I'm not too eager to jump into it. I want to do it. Is this fine? Go to. If go to. Well, Vim isn't even that slow. Well, it depends compared to what I suppose. And linkers, well, yeah. Linkers, not just linkers. After that, I'm assuming it's also optimizers as well. That's actually curious. Like, what portion of the resulting code is past linking? Like, if linking is the slowest, which I have heard, how much is remaining optimization on assembly pass? But in my case, it's more like go into the zoo and see wild ass engineers struggling with that compiler stuff. You've go to. I don't know. Or is this too much? Maybe keep it simple this time around. At least it should be good enough to get started. I just want to parse this out. That's all I want to do.
People say if you're trying to enforce it, something ain't right. Ain't the same when it's done when you know you really like all the feels in the moment. Man, it kills when I know it. Where we did go,
Bum, bum, bum.
yeah, where we did go.
At one point, I was making a Minecraft game. At that time, I was using one of the embedded SQLs. I think it was SQLite. It's pretty nice. It was much faster with some embedded database. I'm not even sure to say it. How far is the object from final exe? I'm pretty sure it's pretty far, depending on the compiler. In C++, I think the objects are pruned at link time mostly. And then you do optimization pass after that and so on, but I've never really wanted to be in the compiler space. I only know very high level stuff only. Is this options maybe? No. Single interaction. Options. Okay. What do I need? Go to? Oh, snap, adds a Twitch. Nothing here. Go to. Find the index. The destination. Okay, I don't know. Action. Yeah, it's supposed to do that.
Oh, bring me back to that day. I had all of this waiting ahead. It kills to be halfway alive since I had you and one till I see
Jesus Christ.
you again. I don't mind spending a little time away, but want your hands and not pixels on a web. Done with this internet. I run, call you up, you're on the other side. Say my name, kiss my name, believe no more. It's like we're right here, then I realize.
Once tried to use Chromium as a game UI. Dude, I still remember downloading Chromium, building that thing, and it produced a half a gigabyte DLL. I was blown away.
The quiet has a way with
Yeah.
I think even my thoughts have had enough. Can't keep them from racing. It's driving me crazy. I'm picturing you till it
Okay, I think.
and I don't mind spending a little time away. Want your hands and not pixels on a
Let's see how much that gets read.
enough of this
Use GDK. I'm guessing it's Linux stuff. You know, you can also go to iOS. I think there you're actually forced to use WebKit. Prompt ID out there. Which one did I not like? You see interactions, check. From there. Interactions, check. Single prompt. And a half hours, Jesus Christ. That sounds like compiling Unreal Engine from source code. The wonders. Okay. Okay. It's time. Debugging time. Let's see what I got wrong. Okay, fun conversations. Fine. Grabbing the first one that filled out. Right. That was good. On to interactions. How many it has. Get the first index. Should be this now. And the other. Oh, this one doesn't have other. Oh, I forgot to rename. I forgot to rename. All right, let's see. Go one. Yes. Start interactions. Intro. Options. Oh, now I remember what they did. When you go off the main list, you can just say here, go back to, I would like to know more. And then you go back to here. Yeah, yeah.
We're in the crowd, everybody's dancing now. Let's leave 'em behind. You saying can
Yeah.
check it? We're in your house,
Okay, okay.
like home somehow.
Oh, it looks like I have all the information now.
In lover's paradise, said I shouldn't stay, but you look so pretty, pretty boy. Won't go all the way, but I'll let you pretty, pretty close. You've got that look in your eyes, oceans deep. It looks like I don't have
Dialog Singleton.
pretty boy. Cherry on top, when I'm getting under you. That 70s pop, playing from your speakers. Ooh, this kind of touch
Oh, what do I want to put it here? We'll put Dialog enabled. Now I need the state. Such as... I need better names for everything here. Conversations, fine. So this is a singular conversation. It has interactions. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Active conversation. Active interaction. Chosen choice index. Maybe. Think that's conversation S and one option selected. That should be enough to get going. Alright, show me the D. Show me the D. Do you write a D? Okay. With that, I'll have access to conversational data. I'm sure then I can pump this into UI. Hey, where's my dialogue? Oh, I'm not calling it anywhere. That's right. Good, dialogue singleton is here. Although really doesn't need to say that. Now this one I could do it in a somewhat smart way, actually. Station is this. Apples. Oh, I forgot to do add combo. And combo wombo. Why do I even do separate state? I guess I might. I'm not sure. Go. Okay, can see that. To next element. Alright. It's getting late, so I'll be ending the stream in a minute. In a uno momento. Right. Here. If conversation check. Directions, right. Yeah, Fang is good. True Q1, Q2, 3, good. Okay. Alright, basic systems is here. Next is to actually write it into UI. But that's for tomorrow. Till then, I shall raid somebody on Twitch. Let's see anybody doing C++. I was kind of hoping. I'll raid this guy. Thanks, y'all. Shall be back tomorrow. To more dialogue action. Waiting for the raid. Raid now. Off we go.